I have the recording started
Fantastic.
and
All
everybody is
right.
ready to go.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We want to welcome you guys in today. We've got a lot of great information to cover. We've got an hour to cover it in. And so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into our Blackboard Ultra question and answer session here from our distance education department. So let's meet the team. Introductions, I'll let Huff lead off first.
Hello, I'm Huffman. I am the Director of Distance Ed and the esports coach.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Swiger. I'm an instructional designer.
Hi, guys. Brian Berger, chemistry instructor, faculty lead in the science department, and the distance education faculty fellow. So here's kind of a general outline of where we're going to be going today. I'm going to take a back seat for a little bit. So after I talk here, it's going to be Huff and Shaw kind of leading the way. And then at the end, I'm going to jump in. So Huff's got a nice little project overview for you guys. Shaw's going to do some Ultra course highlights. Huff has a nice little video on the AI design assistant tools. And then I'm going to go into experiences and insights, and we're going to conclude with some questions from the team. Now, before I get started, I did make a big mistake with this sharing. I forgot to share my sound, so let me go ahead and get that on there real fast. So apologies there, folks. I have that now set up and ready to go. And we'll go ahead and let Huff take it away.
Okay, well, so I'm not going to get into the reasons why we're going to Ultra or really the background of it. We're kind of past that part now. I think everybody understands where we are with that. So what I wanted to do is just talk about the timeline and what people can expect. And so the first part of this was I needed to find a set of faculty that I could work with, and we're limited in this first round to a set of 20 maximum trainings or formal trainings. And so what I wanted to do was find the people that were going to be really interested and try to get as much diversity from as many people from different departments as I could. And so I went to the faculty senate and asked for assistance there. And so I did get a good group of volunteers, and I think we're ready now to move forward. In fact, I'm still getting a few trickling in, and I need to just let everybody know that as far as our 20, we're there. And so the next steps are, well, so we had our first meeting with the group of the faculty participants just yesterday. And the next step is going to be getting everyone trained. And so the way that's going to look is we have the formal trainings from Blackboard, but there are also courses that are in Blackboard that the anthology created, but they handed over to us, and I've installed them in Blackboard. And so we're trying to figure out now if some of them are for faculty, some of them are, one of them is for students. And so what I'm trying to do now is figure out what's the best way to get those out to people and give them access. And also, what's the best way to do this with getting access to students? And so what we're thinking, the bigger timeline is, so we've already had one instructor who ran a course with Ultra over the Mini, and then another instructor who ran it over 8A. That was Brian. And so because of those two instructors stepping up and doing that, it helped us find some of the bugs that or maybe not bugs, but things that we had to configure a little bit differently, things like honor lock, for instance. And now I think that we have those fixed, and so we're ready to move this out to a bigger group. And so I am going to, moving forward for this semester, or for the 8B, what we're going to do is I'm going to open classes for these students, for the instructors to be able to to convert their classes to Ultra. And that's something that I need to clear up for people. You won't, when you do this, there's nothing that you have to take from one class to the next. You really just press a button and it changes everything for you. So it's really not anything that the instructor has to do. It'll give you a feedback or a report back that says what worked properly and what you need to take another look at. Sometimes there's things like maybe a type of test question didn't work correctly. But those issues are usually very small. The reason why we're not just opening it like I got the question, why can't you just open it up for everybody who wants it on 8B? Well, the problem is the distance ed department is a small department. And so I have to focus on the people that we're able to train during this process, because if I just open it up for everybody, then people will have all kinds of questions, and I just don't have the staff to be able to support all of that. So what I think that a compromise that we came to, that which I think is going to work for people, is we're going to give everyone a sandbox course. And so every instructor, whether it's full-time or adjunct, everyone, and Laura Poole is working on that project right now to get that set up. But that's how we're going to give you access. And we also have, there's so much information that's out there on this. And so by giving you this sandbox, you can do things like copy your course into it if you want to. You're just not going to be able to actually convert the one that you're actually teaching in, because we want to make sure that our students don't have that as a roadblock. So, but what you can do is with the sandbox, you can take your class and just that you're currently teaching in, just copy it into there so you can get a head start and know what it's going to look like for next semester. The next step will be over the summer. For anyone who's teaching over the summer, we would open it up at that point because we know it's not going to be that many classes. So we'd open it up at that point for people who want to just volunteer, who weren't part of the original beta group. And so then the ultimate goal is to move all classes to Ultra for fall of 24. Now, I know that sounds like it's coming up fast, even though it's only February. But I think that we can do it. It's not going to be a very bad transition. Really, I think the best way to look at Ultra is look at it as if you're already comfortable in Blackboard, no sweat. But really, the cool part is you're going to learn how to do so much more. And my video today really only touches on, they've actually made a lot of updates since I created that video, which wasn't very long ago. And so there's so many exciting things coming to Blackboard Ultra, and it's going to answer a lot of questions about artificial intelligence. How do we deal with that? But I think that I don't want to take up too much time with this opening. Do I have time to take questions right now, or would you prefer to move on? And Brian, should we move on to the presentation part and then take questions at the end?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Let's go ahead and move back to the presentation then. We'll save questions for the end. I know our next section here is coming up. It's going to be Shaw's portion. So I'm going to go ahead and put the screen back on again. So Shaw, you're up.
Okay, everybody. So are you all excited about Ultra? Maybe yes, maybe no, more work. But as an instructional designer, I'm very excited about this change. I'm really looking forward to what Ultra will bring to the table for us. That includes all those kind of new features and enhancements to improve the teaching for our faculty and learning experience for our students. So hopefully by the end of the session, you will get excited about this transition to Ultra like us. So for today's talk, I'm not going to dive deeper into the how-to part, but more focusing on some of the highlights of Ultra. Okay, Brian, okay. So Ultra course will offer simplified workflows. It provides a very modern look and feel and a faculty responsive interface on all devices. So based on yesterday's meeting with our project manager with Anthology, Laura Liu, she was mentioned about Ultra was actually designed from a mobile device first. And that tells us the end users, instructors and students will definitely have much better experience interacting with Blackboard via their mobile devices like tablets, iPad, and smartphones. Okay, and it also offers more minimalist design and easier to access tabs as compared to the original, and offers more personalized, proactive, intuitive for our faculty and students. Okay, Next slides, please. All right. So how many of you have seen Ultra interface in the past? Maybe yes or no. But this slide basically give you a snapshot of the comparison between original and Ultra interface. So on your left-hand side, everyone should be familiar with this original course view that includes all the traditional workflows in depth of functions of Blackboard Learn is known for. So on the very left-hand side, the course menu appears. Your window is the cornerstone for the organization or navigation of your course. And you create links on the course menu to present your tools and materials to our students. So the area after the course menu, that's called the control panel, where you can access the Grade Center, your file repository, and choose whichever the course tools that are available to your students. But students don't see the control panel, okay? And the content appears in the main window. To the right of the course menu, you use a function above the main window to add content such as build your content, assessments, things like that, okay? But however, in Ultra View, you have simplified workflows and a very modern look. So before I was on board with ACC, I came from a Canvas institution, okay, as an instructional designer and administrator of Canvas. And before that, I had experience with Brightspace and Moodles. It took me a while to get used to the original look of Blackboard. So I'm very excited about this moment that we're transitioning to Ultra. I have been waiting for this moment since I was on board with ACC. But anyways, on the course content page in the Ultra view, you can select the plus sign to whenever you want to create content. So in new blank course, you can use the functions to add content such as create and upload, select icons on the navigation bar to open frequently used like tools such as discussion, things like that. So all of your course content appears in the main part of the page. You can always see the left navigation area that peeks from the behind layers, okay? So most content items such as folders, assignments, have a menu with options. So when you open a piece of content, it slides out in a layer on top of the course content page, and then you can close layer to go back to the previous spot in your course. So in my opinion, Ultra provides a much more like clean layout than original. And yes, in original, it's up to the instructor choice to decide how you want to customize your course menu. However, the lack of control and consistency across the courses has been a problem with the original view. So Ultra definitely introduces a lot of consistency. And we all know consistency throughout the courses, or even though the programs are the key to our student success, okay? Next slide, please, Brian. All right. So with Ultra, there are 3 main containers in Blackboard Ultra that will help you organize materials. That includes learning modules, folders, and Ultra documents. So for folders, they kind of change the strategy approach, how you approach your folders. So in original view, you can create subfolders, within the folders. But with the Ultra view, they limit folders to be no more than 2 level deeps. 2 levels deep, which I mean is that you are able to create a bunch of subfolders within the folders, but it won't allow you to create folders within the subfolders. Okay. I think that's a good thing. You can't convince me that you have a course that requires students to have like 7 clicks or 8 clicks to get where they want to get the information. Okay. And the next thing is the Ultra documents that allows you to combine a variety of materials together, such as text, multimedia, and attachment. I was just informed in the roadmap on Wednesday or Tuesday's meeting with Anthology that one of the enhancement feature that they are going to release recently will be allow the instructor to embed knowledge check or video recording in the Ultra documents, which is kind of very unique features or good features that going to benefit our instructors. Okay, next slide, please. All right, and of course with Ultra, you're gonna have more flexibility to give the students ability to discuss content right in line. What I mean is that when you have the Ultra documents open, you can actually create discussion board right in that space to generate more rich conversation with among the students. Okay, next slide, please. All right, image library powered by Unsplash. This is a feature when I was first time heard this about this news last year at their anthology conference. I was so excited about this because trust me, for the longest time I have been, whenever I create course, I to find the pictures that really fit what I want. I always go to Google and then spend a bunch of time, and I need to worry about copyright concerns, things like that. But now Blackboard Ultra will take care of that. Okay. So with Blackboard Ultra, you can easily create more engaging experience with using the Unsplash. And also, I believe there's called generative AI, generative image option. You can put descriptions about what you want for this picture, and then the Blackboard Unsplash or Blackboard will Ultra will provide the images for you. Okay, and there's no concern about copyright. Okay, next, with the bulk change dates on the batch edit page. So basically it's used for taking bulk actions on the content in your course, such as rolling dates forward based on the start of the semester, or making several items visible or hidden. I think I heard about this suggestion in the past conference. Some instructor mentioned about it would be neat if we have this feature in place, that whenever the course is created or copied, then the course start date or for each assignment will automatically populate in your course. So this feature going to become available in Ultra. So this new update will allow you to change several dates in your course at once to a specific date or time. So this includes the dates and time for content availability and assessment due dates. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. Definitely Ultra gonna offer more powerful questions. I'm sure Original also has a capability for you to create the hotspot, but Ultra gonna provide you more powerful solution to this. Okay. Next slide. And of course, Blackboard original finally, when we moved to Ultra, they changed the terminology Grade Center to Grade Book. Finally, changed this term. I personally don't really like the terminology Grade Center. So Ultra also offers flexible grading. It will provide you the fastest grading experience for you. You can start grading from multiple area. For instance, like global grades page, activity stream, submission tab, or of assignment grade book. Okay. And definitely you can easily review the status of your grade test, prioritize your time where it needs to the most. Next slide, please. Okay, another feature of Ultra that I'm excited about is the progress tracking. Even though original offers the status view, but I don't think it's as powerful as Blackboard Ultra. It helps you identify at-risk students who are not engaged with the course content. And of course, as an instructor, you have the capability or permission to turn it on or off. Okay, so it also allows students to see what they've reviewed and indicate their progress by clicking course materials as completed. And for instance, if you have you see here students actually have been engaging with the content, but you see their grade is low, there's a problem that give you alert, then you can send alert, take action for one or more students. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, another feature I'm excited about is the course content search function that allows you to use a key term to search for content within the course. All right, and yesterday from our meeting, we were informed that Blackboard Ultra actually has improved their deep interaction with Microsoft Teams. They do have that will allows you to quick access for faculty students. Basically, whenever you create a groups in Ultra courses, it will automatically the roster will synchronize with your teams. So that definitely gonna save your time because it create teams that will be synced automatically with teams. Okay. And the last but not the least, great enhancement that Ultra offers is AI design assistant tools that gives you the course structure suggestions, discussion prompts generation, rubric, task question generation, bunch of all this fancy stuff. So very powerful tool that makes your course design process easier. So from here, I'm going to hand over the stage to Huff to talk more about the AI tools in Blackboard Ultra.
Okay, and I only made a video for this because I knew if I didn't, I would go and talk for an hour and a half about all these features. So, Brian, are you able to click that video?
I sure am. Let me get it loaded real fast. Here it is. All right. So folks, let me know if the video is playing. It should work. If not, just say it's not, you can't hear audio, and then I'll go back and change my permissions to make sure the sound's working, but we should be good to go. I'm turning my sound up. Here we go.
Brian, I'm not hearing anything.
Is anybody else not hearing anything?
I don't think so.
One
No, I'm
second,
hearing
guys.
anything. No,
No.
sound
Sorry
nor
about
me.
that. Okay, let's see now. I'm gonna try this again. Sorry about that, guys. I'll start it over.
Today, I'm excited to.
How about now?
I heard it for a second there.
I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Third time's a charm. I'll try that one more time. All right.
Today, I'm excited to share how AI is revolutionizing education through Ultra courses.
How about now?
We'll explore the transformative benefits of AI-powered tools, including the AI Design Assistant, Authentic Assessment Generator, and AI-generated exams. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's a practical tool transforming how we teach, learn, and interact in educational environments. In Anthology Blackboard, AI is leveraged to personalize learning, streamline course creation, enhance assessments, and foster engaging discussions. First, let's dive into AI Design Assistant. This innovative tool automates the design and development of courses, tailoring content to meet diverse learning needs and objectives. For this demonstration, I have created a blank course for the Class A Commercial Truck Driver Training Program at ACC. The first step is to click on the button that says Auto Generate Modules. Next, I'm copying the learning objectives out of the syllabus and posting it into the description box. I can give it a title prefix if I want. I'll choose topic. All right, and so you can see that it already creates some before I do anything. And I am going to put this course objective into the description. Hit enter. And I'm going to change the complexity. And I am going to call it modules. And I'm going to change the number of modules that I want to match what goes with my semester. And then I'm going to click generate. Takes just a second for it to complete working. And you can see that by itself, it has created these modules. It's assigned pictures to them. And all of this is completely editable. The pictures come from a service called Splash, which has partnered with Blackboard, but you can use your own pictures if you prefer. To finish this process, you would select each of the units that you want to keep. I'm going to keep them as they are. I'm going to just select all of these. And I'm going to say add. Okay, here we go. All right, and so now they're added to the course. Next, let's look at the Authentic Assessment Generator. This tool revolutionizes how assessments are created and implemented, focusing on real-world applications. I'm going to create an assignment, and then I'm going to click on the Auto-Generate option. So I'm going to go into this. I'm going to create, and I'm going to create an assignment. And so up here, I have the ability to select Auto-Generate Assignment. And I can put in a description if I want to, but it knows from the other content that I put into the course what this course is about, and so it's already learned what information you would be interested in having. So it's done some work on its own already. You can see that it gives you a cognitive level, and this is based on Bloom's taxonomy of skills. And this again is all very, you can edit it, you can add to it, you can change the complexity levels, and if you're comfortable with it, then you can again select on this and add it to the course. Also, you don't have to add these to the course. Let's say you're teaching a face-to-face class and you want to come up with some sort of authentic assessment. You can put this in Blackboard and it will still do the work for you, and you can use that in the face-to-face class as an instructional tool. As you can see that once you click submit, then it puts it as an assignment into the course. You have the option to allow students to add content at end of the assessment, so you can turn this on or off if you want to, and it gives you a guide. The following content area is visible to students by default. Add a question to be able to control its availability. Next, I can add a test and have AI generate this test for me. So then what I would do is, again, go back to create. And instead of assignment, I'm going to create test. Okay, and so now I would need to give it a name. It comes with a name, but you can change that if you want to. And then I have the option of, okay, so then now it's creating a test, and so I have the option of what kind of questions do I want. And so these are all of the options in Ultra courses, but I can say I want AI to auto-generate a test question for me. So I can put things like specific information that I want in here. But then you can see that it actually went and found other information and has some suggestions for you. So this is very tailorable to your specific needs. It gives you different types of questions to choose from, so they aren't all just true, false, or ABCD. So you can see there's some matching questions. I can up this number if I want to generate. Again, I can do the complexity, so you can, maybe you want to have different phases of complexity of tests, so that maybe you start off with some assessments. You can use a test that doesn't have to count for an actual exam grade, but an assessment grade. So you can measure very easily students' progress, and then make the the test at the end a little bit more complex. There's really, it's up to the instructor how you want to use this. But as you can see, it comes up with a lot of different things for you. That time it took away because I moved up the complexity, it took away most of the A, B, C, D instead. And if I went down on this, let's see what that does. So yeah, so it's the questions become more simple. So I also just found out that it's not on our production environment yet, but it will be very soon, that this option of generating a test is going to let you go and, instead of having just this description, it's going to have a search feature that will let you go and find a specific area in that course where you want this question to focus on, and direct it. So it's really going to be very simple to generate questions. They're adding to this. When I say I mean Blackboard and Anthology are adding new features for AI all the time, and so this is just an introduction. Today I'm excited to share how.
So what y'all think? It's pretty exciting stuff that's out there. I know Huff's been really excited about it in the last couple of weeks. I know he's shown us a couple examples and demonstrations. Blackboard Ultra also has a series of videos that are out there as well that talk about some of the things that are going on with that too. So there's a lot of neat tools. There's a lot of really neat opportunities. I've talked to other folks at other campuses that I'm working at as well, and no one else has really heard about any of this. So we're kind of on the forefront here. So it's pretty exciting stuff. So I guess, is this the part where I get to take over?
Yes, Brian.
Oh,
Go
cool.
for it.
Awesome. Cool. Yay. Awesome. Okay. So let me get out of the PowerPoint real quick. I'm going to go back onto big screen real fast and get out of the PowerPoint for this next section, because for this next portion, I want to give you guys kind of a synopsis of what we have in our Blackboard courses. So I'm going to start off with my Blackboard original course for this semester, give you guys kind of a look at what traditional Blackboard looks like for our Blackboard courses. So I have a home page, and I have my course menu area with my contact information, class announcements, my Start Here tab that I call Getting Started, syllabus and schedule information, info for where I have my textbook access, lecture content, lab content. And as you can see with lecture and lab content, with lecture content in particular, I go to my problem sets. That's one folder, click deep. This is two folders, click deep. So there's a few in considerations to look at now. We go to Ultra, which is the next that I'm going to do, is go to my actual Ultra course. So let me go to the live course that I have right now that's running for my Chem 1405 online section to give you guys kind of a look at what the differences are. So the first thing you guys probably are noticing right away is there's no course menu on the left anymore. The course menu has now been moved to the center of the screen with all of my course content. The items that are here up at the top, for any of you guys who are from Lone Star College or a D2L Brightspace using campus, are probably familiar with having a bar like this at the top that has your content area, calendar navigation, announcements, discussions, gradebook, analytics, et cetera, et cetera. As Shaw was pointing out, we've got our roster, course description. The course description, again, folks, is the same description that appears in the catalog for your class. So it's not the actual description of your course itself, but it's the one that's mandated by the college about the modality and all of their good stuff. For course images, you can edit your display settings. I have a periodic table as my banner. I know, surprise, right, guys? I know, gotta do the chemistry thing. But if you wanted to do something exciting or fun, like for instance, Haley, if you wanted to do something with English, Laura, if you wanted to put a chalkboard with some math problems, Vasitha, if you wanted to get something kind of in the healthcare world, Saul, if you wanted to do something with foreign languages, with Spanish in particular, you can do that. And I know some folks will always want to update that banner to, fit maybe a, a month-to-month kind of thing. So like, for instance, for me in March, I may want to change this to whatever topic I'm talking about in March, and in April, whatever I'm talking about in April. Let's see, what are the other things? So talking about the content itself, as I told you guys before, we cannot go more than one folder deep. So once you have your main folder, you can only go one folder deep. So what I had to do is with my problem sets, instead of having subfolders where all my problem sets are, I now have all my problem sets listed in here as such. So I can only go one folder deep. I can't go as many folders. It's not about clicking now. It's more about scrolling, which I know if you guys are like me, our students don't like to scroll or don't know how to scroll or are very ambivalent about scrolling, if that makes sense. The other thing I want to kind of point out to you guys is kind of the grade book and how the grade book is set up. Let me get out of the students, sorry about that. The grade book is set up kind of in this area here itself where you've got your overall grade and then you've got your different items or assignment areas. In Blackboard Ultra, you create your own overall grade item. And the way you can navigate is you can navigate by category. So I have my exam category, final exams, problem sets, labs, video core problems, and my online homework. Or you can navigate by due date. So you can navigate from the earliest thing that's due to the latest. Or you can navigate by grading status. And so what I've kind of had to do with my Blackboard class in Ultra is I had to rethink how needs grading worked. And this is kind of how I do my needs grading essentially. So the things that say 25 to grade, those are just kind of manual columns that I'm going to enter in at later dates. So like for instance, exam 3 and exam 4 have not come yet. Those will be ones that I'll enter in a little bit later. And right now I'm working on grading the video core problem that I assigned that was due last night by midnight. So I've got about 9 more assignments to grade. And so for the sake of not showing any student names or anything, I'm not going to go into the grading columns there itself. This is kind of a sandbox course that we put together. And if I go to the gradebook of the sandbox course, the only student that should be enrolled in this course is Shaw. Sorry, Shaw. I don't have any gradable items here yet, necessarily because Shaw hasn't turned any assignments in, but I haven't created my grade column just yet. So let's say I want to create my grade column. There's a plus sign here. I'm going to highlight over until it's kind of a like purple pinkish color, fuchsia color. I'm going to hit the plus sign. To add a regular item, I'll just hit add item. To add a average calculation or a total calculation, I'll add calculation. But to add your overall grade, we're going to go to total calculation here. And so I'm going to call this overall grade, or overall course average. And you can either assign it as points or as a weighted average. I'm a weighted average guy myself, but I know some folks like doing total points. And you can change your categories. Now, in order to change your categories, you do have to be unlocked or locked. If it's locked, you cannot touch it. So for my class, my labs are 20%. My online homework is 10%. I don't use this test category. My problem set category is 10%. For exams, that's going to be about 35%. I don't use the assignment category, so I'll go ahead and close that one out. Video core makes up 10%. My final exam is about 15%. And then I do not use the discussions, the exam category, homework category, journal, presentation, or quiz. And if I did my math correctly, which I hope I did, my total should add up to 100%. I can change the settings to be a letter grade, a points grade, a percentage grade. And so that would be what I look at when I look at my grade itself. So let me go give Shaw some grades here. So Shaw, I'm gonna give you some grades. Shaw, do you want to be a good student or an okay student?
Let's do a bad student.
Bad student? Okay. So at Shaw's permission, we're gonna be a bad student here. So I'm gonna go to Shaw's class and I'm gonna go to my calculation details, get out of here. And let's go into my grade here. This is kind of the grid that we're kind of used to when we've done this class itself. So let's say for exam 1, she made a 90. Okay, we'll make her a good student on the first exam. But on exam 2, she made a 55. Then on exam 3, she made a 75. And on exam 4, she made a 60. Then for her video core problem, let's say she made a 95 and a 72. And I'm just going to pick a couple of these lab grades. So let's say lab grade 1, she made 100. She made a 70. She made an 85. For my problem sets, let's see. Problem sets, let's say she made a 90. She got a 80. She didn't turn in problem set 3, so she got a 0, and she got a 65 here. And then for her achieve assignments, I'll do these guys here themselves. We'll just say 44, 11, 99. We'll just do that. So when I go back in here, if I look up Shaw's grade and I go over to Shaw, that's actually, hold on one second, go back to the grade point here. I can see her overall grade is a 71.6. So it does calculate the average score based on the weighted percentages that are present. Now, if I want to get real creative, let's say I go to my overall course average, and let's edit that overall course average to reflect one more thing. So that was a 71.6, right, guys? So let's drop some grades. So you can edit your calculation rules. And so let's say I want to drop the, we'll enable them first of all, and we'll drop the lowest score. And for the achieve homework, we'll edit that calculation rule as well. Got to be patient a little bit. I'm not that patient. Sorry, guys. We'll enable this one, and we'll drop the one lowest score of this one too. So I'm going to hit save. And now remember, Shaw had a 71.6 originally. So let's see how it does with drop grades. Do drop grades factor in? Sorry, I keep messing up that view. So now her average is a 75.7. So with the drop grades, Shaw's grade went up a little bit. So we can still have some of the same features. It's just you're going in different areas with those different things. We don't have column organization anymore, but you are allowed to move the columns around. I'm trying to remember how to do that again. But you do have the ability to kind of move things around. I'm just trying to remember. I think it's over here in this section. But you can bump things up or down. So for instance, if I want to bump the lecture final exam up, I just hit the little arrow to bump it up. Or discussion board bonus goes back up. I can bump it up that way, just like so. Okay. Let's see. Anything else I want to show off for you guys? Anything else I want to show for you guys? Yes. So Bridget, this is going to take a little bit of trust here because I've got, you can put comments in here, but I don't have an assignment that Shaw has submitted. So, let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this real quick. All right. I'm going to kind of drag this off to the side here to see if I can pull up my students here and all that good stuff. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to unshare my screen and make sure I've got this right. Okay. Can y'all see any student names on here? Y'all don't see any student names, right? Right? No student names? Okay. So I go to 1 attempt to grade. Move that over just a little bit. So let's say I'm grading their problem. Over here on the right, we do have the ability to add your overall feedback. So I can type in, whatever I want to type in as far as the feedback goes for that student. So that option still exists as well for grading for assignments. Anytime, Bridget, got your back. All right. So I guess with that said, we've got about 15 minutes left. So I guess we'll open the floor here for any questions you guys have. So is there anything that I can do to help you guys out? Or anything we can do to help you guys out? Saul?
Well, first of all, Brian, thank you so much. The way you presented it was, it made a lot of sense because there's a lot of blah, blah, blah. But once you see the actual class and you demonstrate, that was really, really good. My question is more of, because I know once we start playing with it, the more we play with it, the better we will get. And of course, the training would help. But my question is as an administrator, as a department chair, I typically make a copy of my Blackboard to the adjuncts, and then we just customize it. They just add the syllabus, they add their stuff, and it saves them a lot of work. Is this something we will be able to do with this Blackboard?
Huff, you want to take that one?
Yeah, so that rule won't change. The dean chair rule won't change. It's just the course look that changes. Really, the system admin side of it really all stays the same.
Thank you.
Yes, Sabelle, yes, you do have the option to grade manually. I have manual total columns for my overall exam scores. And hey, folks, if y'all bear with me, I forgot. I've got one more thing I want to share with you guys. Give me 1 second. Let me get the right camera on here real fast. See if this works. Let me take off the background. So again, I do apologize. It's gonna be kind of grainy a little bit, but I'm gonna try to show you guys on the phone. This is kind of what our phone view looks like. And so you can scroll at the top. The little bar at the top can be scrolled left and right. So you can get to all your different areas: grade book, calendar, announcements, discussion, and then your course your course information. Can y'all see that okay?
Not really, Brian.
Oh man.
I
Okay.
can see it because I'm on a big screen.
Okay, I'm gonna work on this here a little bit. I thought this was a great idea, but it's not working like I thought it would, but it is very phone friendly. So I will say that it's a lot easier to kind of do things. In the past, if I've tried to do things on my phone because I've got a baby in my arm, it was a lot harder with the original Blackboard, whereas in this one, it's a little bit easier to do, if that makes sense. So let me get back on regular camera real quick. All right, I'm back. Shot. Bridget.
So my question is, all of us are on the old version. So when we go to change ours over to the Ulta, and we copy, you know how we would copy our course from like one semester to the other, there won't be any issues really with that. Did you have a seamless process? It was just then changing some of the, like, did you have to change anything?
If you guys would like to see how that's done, I can walk y'all through that also, because I'm about to transition my second 8-week classes. So would you guys be willing to see another share
Yes,
screen?
I would love to see it. Like I said, I would love to try it this second 8 weeks, but if I can see it, that'll be nice.
Okay. So I'm gonna go into one of my second 8-week classes. I'm gonna go into my General Chemistry 1 hybrid course. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm set up in my Ultra-based, the Blackboard original. There's a lock over here that makes the course available and unavailable. I'm gonna make it unavailable real quick. Did y'all see this pencil that popped up?
Yes, I see it.
Awesome, awesome. I'm going to click on the pencil, and this will take me to my Ultra course view. Now, this is not a permanent change just yet, but what I have to do now is I'm going to wait a little bit because it's going to convert my course from the Blackboard original view that we had to the Ultra view. And this is what I'm going to be doing in about a week or two. I still have like 2 small tweaks I want to make before I make the conversion. And so for those of you guys who are converting a class in 8B or the second 8 weeks or mini 2, depending on whatever terminology you guys utilize, you will have that option of doing so using that pencil icon by first making your course unavailable and then clicking on the pencil icon to view it.
You
So we
actually
are
have to let
converting.
me know first because there's a change I have to make from the system admin side.
Yes. Nancy, pretty much everything will copy over, but there are a few things that might need to be reconfigured, like just aesthetically speaking. So for instance, if you have a course link in your course, like for instance, if you have a link to the discussion board in your content area, or you have a link to a content folder in a different course area, that's not going to copy over anymore. If you're using grading periods in your gradebook, those are no longer going to function anymore. I'm trying to think, what's the other big one? And then there's like these random weird test question types that are utilized that are not, I mean, the multiple choice will pop over, the calculated formula pops over, the short answer questions pop over. But there's like this weird, I don't know what it is. Huff, do you know what that question was that was weird question type?
No, but they're adding stuff to it all the time, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
if it just because it's not working today doesn't mean it won't be working tomorrow.
Yeah. And so we're almost there, folks. I'm just waiting on this transition to take place. And so what's going to happen is once the course is converted, so I'm going to kind of thumb over here and hopefully it's ready. Nope, still working. It takes a few minutes, but when it converts, I want to show you guys something that's in there that does convert. In the meantime, while it's converting, I do have a video of how I did the conversion process, and I can share it with this group. Is that okay, Huff and Shaw?
Sure.
Yeah, I do have a video that I made that is a how to transition it. And so I'm
Yeah,
actually going
just-
to go ahead and get that link.
Again, just be aware that it won't work for you yet unless you're part of that group.
Yeah. but I want to make sure that anybody that's part of the group that's there. And then if you're not part of the group, I know we're going to be looking for folks in the summertime as well. So this is kind of a short video that I made about the transition process. Let's see if it is here. Are we ready? It does take a minute or two. Almost there. And what I should be getting is I should be getting a ding in my inbox when it's ready. So let me put my email up so I can actually see if it dings. Oh, what is going on? Okay, here we go. All right. So it looks like I am ready for, okay. Wait, is it ready? Yeah, let me see. So it says it's still converting, but let me see if this still works. Let me see if this will take me in. Oh, we're in. So I'm in my preview. So this will take me into my Ultra preview. At the bottom, this allows you to switch back, which we're going to go back to in just a minute. But over here, I want to show you guys on the left side something that's really neat that'll help you guys out with your Blackboard preview and Ultra. So over here, I'm over something called conversion exceptions. I'm going to click on conversion exceptions, and it's not going to let me do anything. So, oh man, it's not letting me do anything. So it's not letting me look at conversion exceptions. So let me go back to my original class that I did, because I think I can see the conversion exceptions still in that one. So I'm going to go to my internet class here, the one that I have now. So in conversion exceptions, this tells you what converted over and what did not. So low priority items for me were things about creating forums and discussion boards, attaching files, subscribing to forums. It's all most of it the discussion board, and then grading scheme colors. And then also any kind of test that you've created that you're not using is going to be deployed in your grade center, but it's hidden, so it's not going to be part of the actual grade center itself. For your medium priority items, I had a lot more on here because of some of the different options that were here for some of the different assignments I'm utilizing. That's mostly the honor lock features that are there, but you can get those back in with the honor lock integration that's present. The high priority things are the ones you want to focus on the most. So for instance, for gradebook categories, I had to go redo my overall grade column or grade average. I had to go look at some of my individual total columns to kind of make sure the features were okay. Grading periods were removed, course links were removed, as I said before, and then folders that were linked from different content areas are removed as well. Okay? But once you're ready to go back, I'm going to go back to this course over here. I'm not ready to use it and convert it permanently, so I'm going to go back to the original course, and it's going to take me back to my original course. So it's going to reconvert it back to the original. Okay? All right. Any other questions, team? Yes, sir.
Hello, it's me again.
No, you're good, Sal. Keep asking.
I'm
And
sorry
Nancy,
to
I'll get you
be
next.
too much into it. I feel like I've been banned from all these for too long. Again, in our department, one person help another. I mean, before we get to you for anything, we get to you once we cannot find the answer or solution for something. So what I'm concerned about this is to start everybody in my department, which is a small department, but it's about 20 classes and no one knowing what to do. So I will ask you to please allow somebody in my department, if it's not me, to get our hands on this so that person can help us, the rest of us. That's how we do it right now with the current Blackboard, and I would love to have this before fall. So if you're going to need more volunteers, please let me know and select somebody from our department. I just feel that this is a lot better for us because we help each other, but also it will reduce the amount of work for you. Because I think it'll be better for us to find the little glitches, little things, and work among ourselves as opposed to all of us trying to get help from you.
Well, that's definitely the plan. So, we want as many people to get as much access to this as we possibly can, but we have to do it strategically. And it's not our barrier of the 20 users that was Blackboard that gave us that limit, and otherwise we'd have to pay extra.
Oh, I get it. It's an administrative thing. Okay.
So yeah, it's actually like a contractual thing.
Oh, okay, I get it. I understand.
And so of course we want to do as much of this as possible. I think that another thing, I'm trying, if you have suggestions of how we can help you with this, then of course we're going to be open to that. What I'm thinking maybe would be good is if I started doing an open labs each week that only focuses on the transition to ultra course, and I could host that myself. So for people who aren't necessarily part of that 20 user group, but everybody's going to get a sandbox class, right? And everybody's going to get access to the training. And I've got a meeting actually next week already scheduled, and it's not for the volunteers from the staff. This was more of a project coordination meeting about how we're going to start with our information, and that's always the information plan. That's the big thing, and so that's what's going to start next week, and we're going to be sending out a lot of information about where you can go to find help with this, what it's going to look like, what the overall plan is, so that when you see that sandbox class in your list of classes, you know what it's for. And then the other thing is I always get concerned about, it's one thing for full-time instructors, but adjuncts don't always get the word. And so I really want to make sure that I'm doing what I can for our adjunct instructors and our dual credit instructors, because they're going to obviously be affected by this a lot. Everybody will be. And so, if you can think of any way that I can possibly help your department move to this, then please share it, and we'll definitely at least try to do it if we can.
At this point, that's the only thing I can think of, because that's the way we've done it in the past. We help each other. And my rule, I only have 5 adjuncts. This is a very small department. My rule is you come to me, we find the solution. And if we cannot find a solution, but 99.9% of the time, we find the solution. So that's why we never really go back to you. But with this new Blackboard, and just like Brian said, oh, those of you that have seen D2L, I've used D2L. I can see the resemblance. I've used D2L. As a matter of fact, many of the stuff that Brian showed, that's the same way in D2L. The only difference with this is the artificial intelligence. That's the only difference thing that I see in this particular program. So yeah, I got some experience with D2L, and I know I'll figure it out. But I'm concerned about the people that are not as technology, I will say, educated. Because somebody can have a PhD and written books and do all these presentations, but that doesn't mean they're that literate when it comes to technology. And this is wonderful, but I think it has a little too much for that kind of instructor. So that's what I was concerned. If we can allow
the AI part, right, is that's either you don't have to use that. That's all just bonus stuff. And so that's not the part that I'm so much worried about. What I'm more worried about is the grade book looks completely different. And so we're going to have training for the grade book. But then, as well as I do, that having training available is not always the best. It's how do we reach everybody that needs to be reached, and some people want to some people really need to have somebody sit down with them and show them step by step, and that's where we're all at different levels, and so that's really the whole challenge of this. And I absolutely understand your concern about it, because it's the same one as my concern. And the last thing we want to do ultimately is make the LMS Blackboard a roadblock or a hindrance to student success, right? Because that's really, then we've got a problem. And the way to do that is to make the instructors comfortable using it, and to where it's more of something in the background that you don't even notice. And it's really something more that's really, it's a big advantage instead of a big setback.
All right, that was just my opinion. Again, we'll play with it. It is also my opinion that the only way you learn how to use the systems is playing with it, experience.
And that's what I did, Saul.
We'll just go with it.
But
that's what I had to do too.
And here's the other thing. So one of the things that I really like about ACC is we're a small college that looks out for each other, right? And so, you don't need something formal and official to be able to help your adjuncts. And I don't just mean you, I mean everybody. And I know that we take it, we all do we take it upon ourselves to help each other out as much as we can. And there are going to be some people who just are going to need some help with this, and that's what we're, that's the real challenge of it. So I think that it's going to be, from talking to other schools, they've actually, I've got a white paper, and I'll have to go back and find it, but I can share that where it shows that actually transitioning to Ultra actually increases student performance, and it's met by a measurable degree. So, in the end, it's going to be the good for the all kind of outweighs the needs of one or the few, right? And so we're just gonna.
Better than these the few.
Well, wasn't that like Spock or something? Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, let me get my hand right. Sorry.
Okay, well,
I did Yoda, not Spock.
and so now I guess my concern is that I want to make sure that people are getting the support that they need, and students and faculty, and I want to make this as smooth of a transition as we possibly can. I know that once people have access to it, I really kind of am just excited to sit back and see what people can do with it. The AI part, if you think about it like this, the AI part now makes it to where you could go and use our library database to find specific information, peer-reviewed journals specific to the content in your class, put that in your class, use AI to generate content around it, and with things like Shah was talking about, with where now they have a new thing where it will build content pages for you, and you can do things like check for learning in there. And so you could say, you could take the AI and say, take this article, this peer-reviewed article, make it into a content area in my course, then auto-generate exam questions, and then you can do things like use the complexity to do things like, maybe just quick assessments along the way, 5-question tests to check knowledge, to doing some really complex assessments. But I really think that the thing with this is that we have to let Bloom's kind of we have to push to a higher level Bloom's to make this work, and that's really the AI angle of this anyway. So so it's a lot, I know, but I share your concerns.
All right, guys. Well, we're getting to the very end of our session here, so I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. And I welcome you guys to go back and join the main room again for the final closing remarks. We're getting started with that in about 2 minutes. So thank you guys for being here, and we look forward to helping you guys in our transition to Ultra.
Thank you.